Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Tuesday, March 31st. I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy. Welcome to the last day of the month. Tomorrow's April 1st. There's still time if you'd like to enjoy some of the Easter activities throughout the village to get tickets. We'll tell you how you can do that a little bit later in the show. On today's show, Dr. Peter Abbas with me today, and he's going to be telling us all about what we can do if we have one or more missing teeth. Really important segment. You're going to want to sit in on and watch that. And then later in the show, we've got the Republican Club with Pat Micone and Betty Oliker. They've got another special guest here at their event on April 11th. They're going to be telling you about him. Now we want to keep you informed, and it's all about landscaping, folks. The landscaping crews are increasing mowing and maintenance across the entire village because we've got warmer weather, and that accelerates plant growth. So you can expect more frequent services along with occasional earlier start times to ensure safe working conditions. We don't want it to get too hot out there for those wonderful workers. And also, planting may slow during hotter days to avoid increasing the stress to new plants. You're also reminded to keep personal items out of turf areas. Objects left in place can't be worked around and may be damaged. So go ahead and take those things off of the turf so the maintenance crews can get around. Mowing schedules are available on Team Up. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast, folks. Today's high is climbing up to about 70 degrees with a bit of a breeze, making it feel slightly cooler. We've got about a 40% chance of rain moving in around 6 p.m., lasting through tomorrow morning with overnight lows hovering right around 60 degrees. The rest of the week returns to our typical springtime pattern with highs in the upper 60s. Beautiful weather, actually, Wednesday and Thursday under a mix of sun and clouds. Lows continuing in the high 50s. Then we begin another climb into the 80s just in time for Easter weekend with mild evenings holding steady in the upper 50s. Should be a beautiful weekend to hunt for Easter eggs. Sunrise this morning was at 6:39 a.m. Sunset will be at 7:10 p.m. Okay, this is the sunrise, but look at all those gorgeous colors. We have gradients and ombres and yellows and pinks and purples. Oh my gosh. Sunrise in Rancho Santa Margarita. Sent in by our own Cole Young. Thank you, Cole, for sending that in. If you'd like to send us your photos, we'd love to share them. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Of course, include your name, where the photo was taken from, and in that horizontal format. 3 meetings to tell you about. 1 has been canceled, so mark your calendars for that. And when we come back, Dr. Peter Abbas will be with me.
If you're exhausted after conversations, it might not be you. It might be the strain of trying to hear. Today's AI-based hearing devices can do real-time situational analysis, helping reduce background noise so you can follow speech without working so hard, often leaving you feeling more relaxed and engaged. Try Audibel Eris. All insurances are accepted, and take advantage of our field trial that lets you test the environment where it matters the most, your daily life. Call us today, and remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Abbas. For over 20 years, I've been helping families keep their smiles healthy and bright. 10 years right here in Laguna Woods. At our family-owned practice, we do it all. Preventative care, digital dentistry, and full smile makeovers. With a team you know and trust. Conveniently located at the Taj Mahal Medical Center with shuttle access for our Laguna Woods neighbors. Come experience complete care, old-fashioned service, and state-of-the-art dentistry that feels like home.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here to tell us what our options are if we happen to have one or more missing teeth. I welcome Dr. Peter Abbas to the show.
Thank you for having me again. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. I really enjoyed our last interview, and this interview is going to have a lot of important talking points because it happens to the best of us. All of a sudden, for one reason or another, trip or a fall or something, we have missing teeth. I've seen it happen.
Absolutely.
I've seen the consequences.
Sure.
And I'd like to talk about those as we move through our interview. But first, you're really local here, right?
Yes, yeah. Located in the Taj Mahal building right in the corner of Paseo de Valencia and El Toro Road. It's the big white building, the white pillars, black glass, and the shuttle goes to our building regularly. I've been there for 11 years. I've been in practicing dentistry for 20 years now. Wow. I grew up here in Southern California, went to school in Northern California, and have been here now practicing for 20 years in Orange County, actually, right here in Orange County locally. So, and 11 years right here in the Taj Mahal building. So it's been a great run. I have a lot of great patients that live right here in the village as well. So
that's great. And you offer complimentary consultations,
correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
As well as complimentary
second opinions. Yeah. So if someone wants to come in, and maybe a previous patient of mine that went somewhere else, or vice versa, anyone wants to come in for just a quick chat, I'm happy to do that, just to go over options and just review things with them, just to make sure everyone's making the best decision possible. Absolutely.
Right. So today's focus is going to be on teeth replacement. So if somebody is missing just a tooth, tell us what their options are.
So there's 3 major options available to us in dentistry right now to replace teeth. The first would be a removable partial denture. Basically, something comes in and out of someone's mouth. Usually, I reserve that for that's the least desirable for most cases. Sometimes it makes sense when there's multiple missing teeth and finances are concerned. That may make sense. The next option I like to review with patients is something called a fixed bridge. Okay, also known as just a regular bridge. That one is the one that's cemented, not the one that's removable.
So, so it's permanent.
It's a permanent cemented bridge. And it works great for 1 to 2 missing teeth. And it's a nice option in many cases. Sometimes it makes the most amount of sense. The challenge that comes with the fixed bridge is the tooth behind and the tooth in front need to sacrifice some tooth structure in order to support the false tooth in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So if those teeth, for example, have nothing going on with them, no fillings, no crowns, nothing at all, then it's a challenge because now we're having to remove and sacrifice some healthy enamel for the purposes of replacing a tooth. So
doesn't sound ideal.
Yeah, it doesn't sound ideal. Sometimes it makes sense though. Let's say, for example, there's a crown of the tooth behind, a crown of the tooth in front. Then it kind of makes sense. You're not really having to do a lot of sacrifice. The best option typically is a dental implant. Okay, a dental implant is an artificial root that gets placed into the jawbone.
That would be the screw.
Titanium. Yeah, it's kind of like a screw. Kind of looks like a screw, and it's an artificial root that gets placed in the jawbone, and then we build a tooth on top of it. That is the most ideal in most cases because we don't depend on the neighboring teeth in any way, shape, or form. It's a self-standing restoration. Right. So it does quite nicely there and really helps patients. And there's lots of different ways to utilize these implants. It could be a single tooth or it could be multiple, which we could talk about in a few minutes.
And you can match that artificial tooth to the real teeth,
yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
You can't even tell.
Absolutely. We really do our best to try to make it as harmonious as possible, blend in as well as possible. We work at dental laboratories to make sure I even do something like if it's in the front, I do something called custom shade matching where I actually send the patient to the dental laboratory so the dental laboratory ceramist, the artist who makes the tooth, can actually see the color and the character. Sometimes you can't pick that up in a photograph. Sometimes it's really important to have the ceramist see the tooth so that the patient has the most realistic outcome.
Right. And then, so we were talking about one missing tooth. You talked about, you touched on a few missing teeth.
Absolutely.
And then that's when you would go into that partial denture, right?
Partial denture, yeah. Partial denture is better for multiple missing teeth or someone who doesn't have enough stability for an implant, or maybe maybe they've exhausted all their options. Let's say, for example, they're missing all of their teeth in the back, all their molars, for example, and they just don't have enough bone. They've had atrophy of the bone. A partial denture may be the only option that a patient has. But it's something that is definitely beneficial rather than having nothing at all, for sure. Let me go back a little bit. So the consequences of missing teeth. So once a tooth is gone, the jawbone, okay, we call it the alveolus, the jawbone has no purpose. So what tends to happen is the bone actually atrophies down. It actually shrinks back like a muscle that's not being used.
Right.
So it's really important if someone's going to have a tooth removed for whatever reason, that we really try to consider the options and what's going on there as soon as possible, especially if they're considering a dental implant. And the reason being is I tell patients that dental implant looks kind of like a screw. Your jawbone is, think of it like a piece of wood. You need to have enough wood for the screw.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
if someone has a tooth pulled out and waits 2, 3, 4 years and now comes back and says, I really want to get a dental implant now, it may be compromised because that bone may have shrunk back. Not to say it's not a possibility, but it makes it much more difficult.
I've had a personal experience with this where my boyfriend's son had knocked his tooth out as a child, and it eventually died and fell out as an adult.
Yeah.
And he thought it was funny
Yeah.
to have a missing front tooth. He got lots of attention for it.
Sure.
And he's really tall, so everyone thought he was a
Hockey
Ducks player.
Yeah.
But eventually it wasn't so funny anymore.
Yeah.
And it got really unfunny
Yeah.
when we had to dump, over $10,000 back into that mouth just to shift the teeth back to where they were,
Yeah.
to put that implant in. So it's really, really important, as you said, address this immediately.
Really,
because
yeah.
there are severe financial consequences
Absolutely.
if you don't, and it's not anything to play around with.
Yeah, there's a domino effect that happens. Typically, most people end up losing teeth not because of an injury. I mean, that happens, of course, but it's typically due to either gum disease or cavities that have just gotten out of control, or a tooth just breaks down considerably.
Really?
And then, like I was saying, it can become somewhat of a domino effect. You end up losing a tooth, you don't address it, you don't replace it. What ends up happening is the tooth behind it starts to shift in place of it. The tooth above it starts to shift down, looking for its downstairs neighbor. And now we have this shifting that occurs,
Yes.
and there's this domino effect. And now the bite is off, and a lot of other things that happen. So again, 70% of adults in the United States are missing at least one tooth. So and we're not talking wisdom teeth either. Those are aside. We're talking just normal standard dentition.
Right.
So it's important we address those missing teeth when they do arise.
Absolutely. Now tell me, when you actually use the screw component to go into the bone, does that stimulate any type of bone growth?
Absolutely. So it basically helps stimulate the bone. So in a situation where someone has to have a tooth pulled out, the ideal situation would be this. I work really closely with an oral surgeon, a local oral surgeon here, and the way it would work is the oral surgeon would remove the bad tooth. The day that they remove the tooth, they typically fill the space the natural roots were taken up by with some artificial bone. And there's a lot of different sources of that, which the surgeon would be able to go over with the patient. And then we need to let it heal and mature for a few months. And then once the bone is mature, then we're able to go back in, create a small channel in the jawbone, place that dental implant. Okay,
Right.
That dental implant needs to stay in there for a few months to fuse and harden with the bone, and then after that, we're able to build a tooth on top.
Yeah, so it's something to note that this is not a quick process.
It's
right?
not.
This probably takes about a year total,
Yeah.
as long as you don't get infection. Because I know another
Absolutely.
friend who had same thing, front tooth. She knocked it out. And when they did that bone graft, she got massive amounts of infection.
Yeah, it has to be done properly. That's why I work really closely with an oral surgeon who has additional training in this whole surgical process to make sure we have the best outcome possible. That's my philosophy. I really want the best of the best for our patients, especially when it comes to something that's implanted in your jaw. We want to make sure that it is as high quality as possible with the best possible outcomes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Dr. Abbas, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course,
Appreciate
my
all your
pleasure.
valuable information.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Visiting with us.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, if you've got any missing teeth, go see Dr. Abbas. You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
For over 50 years, we've had the privilege of caring for our community's vision.
From routine eye exams to advanced eye care, we're here every step of the way.
Because clear vision means seeing life's most precious moments.
Thank you for trusting Harvard Eye Associates with your vision today and for many years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future vision today.
For some places, care is a service. At Heritage Point, it's a commitment. Located in Mission Viejo, Heritage Point offers an environment where residents feel known, valued, and at ease. Our experienced staff build meaningful relationships that bring comfort and trust. With engaging activities designed for connection and creativity, every day brings something to look forward to. Our vibrant social dining experience is truly a welcoming environment. This is where community thrives. Visit our website or give us a call to schedule your visit today.
If you're living with spinal stenosis, sciatica, or any other spine issue, you're not alone. And you do have options.
I was flat on my back. Kind of severe back pain.
At Excel Health, we offer a free MRI review with experienced, fellowship-trained spine surgeons.
I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm active, so.
Our minimally invasive procedures mean most patients are walking just hours after surgery. Call Excel Health today, and let's talk about what we can do for you.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here to give us an update on their April meeting, April 11th, from the Republican Club. I've got Pat Micone and Betty O'Laker. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Bree.
You guys are always so festive.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to wear our patriotic red.
Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I love your enthusiasm. Well, let's just dive in real quick. We've got a lot of talking points today, and you got a lot to cover. And let's start with the April 11th meeting, the candidate forum.
Yes.
What can residents expect at this event?
Well, first of all, Bree, it's an unusual date. April 11th is a Saturday. That's an unusual date for us. Our meetings are on the first Friday of every month, but because this coming Friday is Good Friday, we chose to have it on a Saturday, which would be much better for most of our members and guests who want to attend.
Right.
So this meeting is an important one. As we know, we are into the midterm elections of 2026. Such critical election this year, saying it's probably the most critical election for Republicans in our lifetime. But what we're up against right now is the June primary. And the June primary is called a jungle primary, where only the top two candidates rise and are able to go to the general election in the fall, in November. So right now, we had Chad Bianco last month. It was a great meeting. We weren't able to see Steve Hilton, but we did have three local opportunities for our members to go and see Steve Hilton. So right now, we're going to focus on Michael Gates, and Michael Gates is the top cop, and he's going to be the AG, the Attorney General of the state. And I'm going to have Betty talk a little bit about him because there's a lot to say about him. We don't want to say too much, but we want to give enough to know that he's going to be a great speaker and encourage us.
He is a great speaker. I have heard him. First of all, he's a husband, father of 5, and a battle-tested attorney. He has an extraordinary record of legal victories and a reputation as a fearless advocate against failed state policies. His experience includes defending law enforcement officers in high-stakes jury trials, and he's never lost a cop case.
Wow. Yeah.
He's really about law enforcement and fighting crime. That's his top priority. So fighting crime and improving public safety at the local level, which he did in Huntington Beach, making it one of the safest cities out of 10 in, 482
cities?
Yeah.
So he's not about defunding the police?
Well, that comes up. That's one of my points. He also recovered $38 million from the state of California and returned it to Huntington Beach taxpayers.
Wow.
He launched Huntington Beach's first ever local criminal prosecutor program, which reduced crime by 11.5% in its first year. He also helped reduce the city's homeless population by more than 60% since COVID. He's an achiever. He was the architect of voter ID in Huntington Beach. He sued Orange County in California for violation of election laws. And as I said, Huntington Beach is now one of the safest cities out of 482.
I bet everyone's going to start moving there.
Well,
You know, that's a good point. I mean,
Yeah,
it's become a true.
they have good leadership, that's for sure.
They do.
That's
What he
amazing.
says, I just saw him recently, a couple weeks ago, over in Mission Viejo. He says he's going to have a new era of law and order in California. Now, you've heard that one of the two top issues, you know, in this election, whether it's national, local too, is affordability. You know, California leads in high taxes, gasoline, energy, property tax. Right. You know, over 1 million people have moved out of the state. So, you know, that is not, that's attributed to the last, you know, liberal policies in California. So I know that Michael Gates and Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, they want to bring affordability back to the state. And, you know, they have a lot to say about it. But we're really proud that Michael Gates, I think he's going to encourage and inspire and get us all fired up to work and to help, you know, win these elections.
Absolutely. He sounds like a powerhouse.
Oh my
It sounds
gosh.
like it's going to be
He's such a nice
absolutely
man.
Come to our meeting.
He's a nice man. I mean, he's, like Betty said, he's a father of 5. He's a grandfather of 4.
Wow. Wow. He just doesn't stop.
I know. He's amazing.
He's like
he really
the
is.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
So how can our local residents get involved in the upcoming primary? Any thoughts? How to...
We're going to have two main ways, Bree. First of all, if you're new to Laguna Woods and you haven't, you know, aren't maybe engaged, please come to our meetings. Give me a call, Pat Mycone, 714-697-0014. We'd love you to attend our meetings or become involved in our upcoming activities. Today we're going to start our postcard writing. We're going to be at the Performing Arts Center from 1 to 4 in the small conference room. So we have a group of people coming, but if you'd like to join us, just come on over and we'll be happy to have you be a part of it. I get kind of anxious about these elections when they're coming up because, you know, I want our guys, the Republicans, to win. But I find that when I'm engaged, I'm not as anxious. It really helps me when I'm participating. So I say that to many of you out there. I know these are kind of, you know, can be stressful times, making sure that we want to have our country, we want to preserve our freedoms, preserve law and order, and help preserve our U.S. Constitution.
Right.
So locally, we're working hard to do that.
Right. We have a little bit of time. Tell me, why do you think that there's such a division in the nation? And it seems like there has been for like the last 12 years or so.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
I have my personal reasons. I mean, you know, the Democrats want power. Right now, President Trump was elected by the majority of Americans. He won the Electoral College. He won the popular vote. And Americans chose it. But right now, the Democrats are resisting it. We see the protests. And the divide, that's a divide. They don't, so we have to go by elections. This is why elections are important. Right. We have to go with the person who's elected. So they don't like it, but if you don't like it, you got to get out and vote. So, you know, I think they just want, many of the Democrats, I know that Chris Murphy recently admitted that they care more about illegals than they do citizens. So we have to get back to the party being second and people being first. We have to care for people. Right. Care for.
Right. Wow.
That's my person. That's my.
Well, I
my
appreciate.
take.
I appreciate that standpoint.
I would have to add that the media is divided.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one way
True
or
point.
the other. There's
True
no
point.
middle road.
True point.
They really promote. They're more biased on
Yes.
on the left side,
Right.
and that's been a known fact for maybe 100 years, a long time.
All right, ladies. Well, good luck with your postcard writing campaign today. And your event takes place Saturday, April 11th. Lunch candidate forum for June primary, November 20.
And it's also at Clubhouse 1.
Clubhouse 1,
We
yeah.
didn't say that. It's a different clubhouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
Clubhouse 1,
right.
not
And-
Clubhouse
and
5.
it starts at 11 a.m.
Yep.
Social hour, and then meeting 11:30 to
And Bree,
1:30.
can I add, please send in your check today to P.O. Box 2431, Laguna Hills, California. We've had trouble with the post office being a little bit late, so in order to make plans for the meals, please send your check in and email Sherry Behar, she's our reservations, rclreservations@gmail.com, and let us know you're coming. And we look forward to having you attend.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Bree.
We'll be back with some announcements. You're watching This Day on Village TV.
Hospice isn't about giving up. It's about showing up with compassion, expertise, and heart.
We care for the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, helping patients live each day to the fullest.
We walk with patients and families every step of the way because what we do is more than medicine. It's honoring every moment together.
Orange Hospice, with you, with heart, always. Please call us or visit orangehospice.net.
Welcome to Adapt to It, your neighborhood resource for all your home medical supplies. For over 20 years, we've helped Laguna Woods stay safe, prevent falls, and remain independent. We modify your shower or bath for safer entry and exit. Stay mobile with walkers, scooters, and wheelchairs as light as 14 pounds. Our lift chairs provide heat, massage, and a gentle lift when you're ready to stand. And at bedtime, our adjustable beds help you find the perfect position for rest. We're here for all your needs throughout the day. When you can't change it, adapt to it.
Hi, I'm Jay Miner with Assisted Living Locators of South Orange County. If you're starting to worry about your safety at home or about a loved one who may be struggling, you don't have to take the next steps alone. I've toured every assisted living and memory care community in our area, and I can help you find the right fit. I'll do the research, make all the phone calls, and set up all the tours. And my services are at no cost to you. Let's make sure that you or your loved one have the care, comfort, and peace of mind that you deserve. Give me a call today.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We've got a festive weekend ahead. We've got Easter. Celebrate Easter with a festive feast. Clubhouse 5 on Saturday, April 5th at 1 p.m. Guests can enjoy a delicious buffet featuring favorites like prime rib, Cornish game hen, salmon, salad, sides, and of course, those tasty desserts. Tickets are $39 for adults, $19.50 for children, ages 6 to 10. They're available now at the Clubhouse 5 office, credit card or check accepted. For more details, call Recreation at 949-597-4382. Email recreation@vmsinc.org. Enjoy that festive feast. We want to remind you folks, watch This Day Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 5 p.m. on Village Television. That's channel 6 or 406, or on the Village Television app. You can watch anytime on your favorite YouTube channel, Village Television. So you can find that if you click on YouTube, hit @Village Television, and we will pop up for your viewing enjoyment. Tomorrow on This Day, Michael will be back with me. We're going to have Bocce and Social Club and The Village Reads. That's going to do it for this episode of This Day. From all of us here, we wish yours a beautiful one.